Welcome to another episode of Rubbin Minds Rewind. We'll just keep you up to date with everything that you missed on the live show Rubbin Minds with Ebuka. My name is Desmond. On this week's show, it was star-studded. First, we had Talma, who's an Instagram sensation known for her popular skits on Instagram and on social media. We also had Timine Egbuson, who's known for a number of TV series and cinema movies. He had a lot to share on the show. And the show rounded off with public affairs analyst, Mr. Farouk Abbas, who had a lot to say about the recent happenings in Bayelsa. Here's what you missed on the live show, Rubbin Minds.
Another interesting week just went by. The Supreme Court did what they do best again with the Bayelsa State governorship elections. A day to the inauguration of the APC candidate, the Supreme Court ruled that he was not freely and fairly elected, and the PDP candidate was sworn in the next day. So we also hear that the removed Imo State, ex-Imo State governor from the PDP, Mekai Hedia, will be having his hearing at the Supreme Court. He's appealed the decision, basically, and I will be looking forward to seeing what decision comes from that as well. So much happening in the political space, but we're going to be starting off today with something completely different, talking comedy, entertainment, and I have a very, very, very special guest.
On the first segment, we were joined by Miriam Akbaokbagi, popularly known as Talma. I bet you didn't know her name was Miriam. She had a lot of conversations about her journey as a content creator for social media and how it's been and the support she's had from her family and her boyfriend.
I never thought of making skits. It wasn't in my plans, although not like I really had plans like that, but it wasn't part of my plan until I met my boyfriend, Abula. He's a Nigerian music video director.
Okay.
So I saw the things he's doing and I was like, okay, can you teach me how to make like birthday videos and stuff? And then he said, okay, that he's going to teach me more than that. So for him to be able to teach me, I had to like do some things, you know. You can't just put down the laptop and be teaching me. I have to like make some videos. And then he came up with the idea of, okay, why don't I start making skits? Because as at that time, he was also making a skit. So I was like, okay, what concept? I don't have any idea of what to do. Then he started giving me the concept of the mother and daughter stuff.
Yeah.
So that way I was learning editing and I was making skits. Although he's always giving me the concepts then because I didn't have the brain to think like, okay, what's the story going to be all about? So that was how I started in 2015. Yeah. And then when I came back to Lagos, I had to work on my own and go on YouTube because it's not around to teach me a lot of things. And I kept on with the skits, even though I feel like giving up at some point. But I kept on with it.
I like no stuff, and then you post a lot of the company stuff, but you seem to have so much demand. There's a lot of demand for you, or at least a lot of posts from you seem to be sponsored, you know, by several brands and companies, and you still manage to keep it engaging. How easy is that? Because if it's something you just want to throw out and do on your own, it's easy, I want to believe. Yeah. But when you have to tie something to a brand and still get people to watch, you know, how do you come up with those?
I don't know how to explain that. Because I get a lot of people saying, okay, I do adverts and I make it look so natural as possible. I don't know how, because it's like I write down the stories, and when I get the stories and you bring an advert, I just go through my stories and see the ones that can go with the advert.
Yeah.
So, and I just self and be on my own. I was still looking at some people and be like, okay, and not like get ideas from them, but get motivated from them. Because as I said, I felt like giving up at some time, and then my boyfriend would keep talking to me and all that. But then with that, it's not around me, he just talks on phone. So I try to watch people's skits and feel like, okay, this person is doing it. I can
Who are some of these people?
Do it. Someone like Maraji, someone like Twice, someone like, who else? I think those just two were just two major people that I check out. And yeah, I see Maraji skits everywhere, so I don't even need to go to her page to go and watch it. Yeah, I just... Are
you friends with her? Have you ever met her? Are you guys friendly?
No, I haven't met her, but I think we just chatted like once or twice.
Yeah. I ask that because there seems to be a constant, like every other week on Twitter, Taoma and Maraji are trending. Who is better? Do you see things like that, and what do you think about it?
I do see things like that, and I just try to ignore, because sometimes I feel like replying, but I just feel, how many people do I want to talk to and be like, people are unique in their own ways. Just because I came out doesn't mean she's not doing well again or something. But then I just try to ignore, because I see some people trying to just make me talk, and then they come back to me and like give me a backlash, and I don't really want
Where
that.
you now end up talking, yeah?
Exactly. So I just keep quiet and I just overlook.
Would you do something with her?
I would if I have a chance.
Would you approach her if you could?
I feel okay. I said I chatted with her once. She didn't really give me that opportunity, the opening hands to like get closer to her. So, but I would really love to.
If you get the opportunity.
Yeah.
How's your family taking it? That's very, very busy. Are there brands you won't work with? Are there certain brands you probably would not want to represent, or?
Yes. Like, what's it called? Is it aphrodisiacs or some sexually related
Anything
brands?
sexually related,
Yeah,
okay.
I would not really want to.
Is that a personal, religious, or is there?
No, it's not religious. It's not. I just feel as my kids, it's based on African parents, and so how do I want to advertise? Because I cannot go out of the African parent. I can go out, but I don't want to really divert from it. So if I have to now advertise maybe sexually, all this agbo something, and how do I tell? Is it my mom that will be telling me, or I'm the one that will be telling my mom, or something? So that's why I don't really find my way around it. That's why I don't take it.
With over 10 years in Nollywood, actor Timini Egbuson has overproven himself, leveraged on the opportunities he has had, and he also shares with us how he's changing the game in Nollywood. Let's watch.
I won the Future Awards prize in acting.
Yeah.
Congratulations for 2019, if I do say so myself. And then I did that. So this particular time around, I was really expecting this nomination. So
why? Besides the Future Awards, was it how good you think you did?
I feel like Elevator Baby was. I gave my blood. Do you understand? I literally gave my blood for that film, and I felt like people actually started to really recognize me as not a fine boy actor and actually a deep actor. So I expected to be nominated. I made sure that they submitted, because as the producers have to submit. So I made sure that they submitted, and I was definitely expecting it. It was also one of the best performances acting-wise from any male actor in the year in review. Like, this is not even me
very
saying,
modest.
No, it's true. Like, I'm saying, like, if you really check it, there were other people that I was expecting as well. So I kind of like did the prediction. We all do predictions for Oscars and all that. And I knew that Timini's name would pop up. So when I heard Timini, the first thing I did, I was home. I didn't want to watch with anybody in case, in case I didn't hear my name.
So that you can cover your shame quietly.
So I had to just quickly, when I heard my name, I called Akori first things first, and we were excited together because...
You mentioned something there, and did it bother you? Because, I mean, you seem to get typecast at some point where you was the fine boy, either playing a girl or being in love with a girl. That seems to be Timini. Was that bothering you at some point?
To be fair, because it never really bothered me because I understood that, like, it's all the journey, right? If at first it was Dakori's brother. I enjoy that, you know. And then I started getting roles, I started getting opportunities to actually lead films and all of that. And I enjoyed that as well. So there's no problem, I'm getting work, I'm getting paid, I'm showing that I can act. Somebody needs to play the fine boy, it's fine, And that now makes it even better when I now surprise them with a role like the Elevator Baby character, Young guys, a lot of people want to just blow, like they just want to blow. You've started acting for 2 years, you're already frustrated. It doesn't work that way. People are watching, and your character also says a lot, So you might not see me work, but you might see my energy, and you might just want to have me on your set when next you're shooting. That's all it is, So it started from that. Elevator Baby is actually not my first lead in a cinema film. There was a movie I did called Ajuaya. The budget wasn't as big, so maybe people didn't hear about it as much, but I feel like everything is connected. If I show my journey to Skinny Girl in Transit, which is a web series, everything is kind of really connected, and it's all about like just placing yourself there when she even stops, so it would never be a problem.
Was there ever a problem with family, though, that one person is doing it and you are going down the same route?
So actually, I didn't tell her when I wanted to start acting. I didn't tell anybody. I studied psychology, graduated, got a 9-to-5 sales and marketing in an e-commerce company. And then I just heard about the audition. And what I like to do is I like to just do things. Sometimes talking about it, you get people to talk you out of it. So I just went for the audition. And there were like 4,000 people in the audition. I got the role. And then I told her, oh, I was like, to me, there's no money in this industry. You know, because that was her advice, because she knew that I like the finer things of life. And she said, you know what, Timothy, there's no money in this industry. I'm not going to lie to you. You have to find a way. If you want to do it as a hobby, do it as a hobby. Find somewhere else so that you can actually
Make money.
And I took that, and I've really, really gone with that in terms of like the way I, even up until now, I'm not only an actor, you know, I'm working with a lot of brands in terms of social media, content creation, you know, in terms of ambassadorship, in terms of like just being present, you know. And that's a mistake that a lot of other actors make. You know, I feel like they just really focus on acting and really focus on the work. And I get it that you're passionate, but you kind of also need to now try and make yourself into a marketable brand. Look at Ebuka, for example.
We're talking about you here. But is that still the case, though, with money back? And I like to ask this question if I have people from Nollywood here, because it's why it seems a lot of people seem to jump into production.
Yeah.
Is that still the case with regards to how much is being made? And then why do people still do it? What's driving you to still do it?
I feel like anybody that is doing Nollywood is that's why on Instagram, when I'm on set at 4 a.m., I make sure I show it. I let people know, like, if you don't love it, you won't be able to be in the industry. It's not as nice to the point where you're just in it for the money. But I also feel like it's also a misconception, and it's also a misrepresentation of the facts. There is money in Nollywood, you know. We're getting paid. We're not getting paid as much, yes. We're not getting royalties. We're not getting a few things back, you know, but there's money. If you check it, you're shooting a movie for 6 days, you're getting XYZ. If you're applying yourself and you're working maybe 3 times in a month, maybe 2 times in a month, you're probably already making more than the average banker or the average lawyer or the average, you know, person in a 9-to-5. You know, so let's not make it seem like it's so bad. And also, let's also try and like, also, it's showbiz, you know. Everybody comes on interviews and says, there's no bad. It's not as bad. Yeah. It can be better, yes, but it's not as bad. Maybe I'm talking from a privileged place because I've been lucky to work on some good projects, MTV Sugars, you know, Skin Girl in Transit. These people pay, it's not Hollywood dollars, you know, but it's not bad.
On the final segment, we're joined by public affairs analyst Mr. Farouk Abbas, who had conversations with us about his views on the recent election judgment in Bayelsa State. Let's watch.
And hold elections freely and fairly. Well, I have you with me, Farouk Abbas. Thanks for being here today. You're always here. You're a regular.
Thank you for having me.
I know I want to talk about INEC, but first of all, about Bayelsa. What were your thoughts on that?
Well, it was quite shocking. It was shocking because, for one, I wasn't even following the case, so I felt it was a non-issue. I saw the report about 2 days before the judgment that the Supreme Court was due to deliver its decision, but I just felt it wasn't going to be anything major. That it was just, since it wasn't the election petition case, you know. But when I heard the news, I mean, I was shocked for the APC candidate. You know, I was devastated to say, but you know, when I read the judgment, you know, then I felt that there was nothing to be surprised about, because it was like anybody should have seen it coming, because this is not the first time we're having this kind of scenario. In Bayelsa in 2007, we had the same case where a House of Assembly member was sworn in, and somebody went to court to challenge him that he presented fake certificates, an affidavit of his age. He was a legal practitioner, but he had different affidavits saying one he was born 1966, another one 1970. And the court held that an affidavit was a certificate, and they nullified his election. But in that case, they said Labour Party and the other party should have a rerun within 90 days. Yeah. But they didn't say the second person who had the highest votes should be sworn in, you know. So if you present a fake certificate or you present a document that is not valid, I mean, it's a no-brainer. You'll be sent out of office, you know.
This was a little weird for people, though. Sorry to cut you there, because this time it was a deputy governor-elect who had the issue, and people said, well, why is the candidate carrying the burden of the deputy governor-elect? Do you think that was another way to look at it?
Yeah, well, I don't see it as the candidate carrying the burden of the deputy governor-elect, because you see, the constitution is very clear that what's a valid nomination. For a position of governor, you would only have a valid nomination if you have a deputy that is duly nominated under the law. So if you don't nominate a deputy governor, if you only submit the name of a governorship aspirant, INEC will not accept your letter, your name, and you won't contest in the election. So it's vice versa. You know, the benefits of the governor rubs off on the deputy, benefits of deputy rubs off. And in law, we have a saying that you can't benefit from a document and now seek to impugn that document or challenge that document. So if you are going to marry somebody and you are going to benefit from our goodness and all that, you must also take the bad side of the lady as well. So if you have a deputy, if he has the good side, you take it. If you have the bad side, I read the deputy governor's profile on his website. They said he's 60 years old, he's been a governor before, he's been a commissioner for health, he's been a councillor. So he was politically grounded. But Leon on his own part does not have any political experience. So they needed the political heavyweights to come on the ticket. I'm sure if he didn't come on the ticket, I'm sure Leon wouldn't have gathered the kind of momentum that I gathered. So whether we like it or not, the deputy governor contributed immensely to the electoral victory of Leon, because as far as I'm concerned, I see Leon as a paperweight politician. He doesn't have any electoral, he hasn't contested an election before, so we can't judge his electoral value. Yeah. So whatever votes he got, you must give his deputy governor credit for it. So you shouldn't blame the deputy governor alone, because the 7th senator, they know what they were doing when they chose the 7th senator. They could have chosen somebody else who wasn't in politics or a business person. So I wouldn't blame the senator. I only blame Nigerians, because the truth is, the Electoral Act is very clear. It says clearly that when INEC publishes the name of people who want to contest for election, anybody can go to court to challenge the Form 001. INEC Form 001. If you feel an aspirant or a candidate has submitted fake documents or false information. And I've also participated in an electoral process before. I contested for election a couple of years back, and INEC published my name. And Nigerians pay money for the screening. You pay money to buy forms. So when you pay your political party should be able to get a third party, maybe an auditor or a forensic expert, to verify your papers. So pushing it to INEC, I don't think I will push it to INEC. INEC has a lot they are dealing with. Even the issue of logistics for election, they've not been able to. They had about 800 litigation from this last election. So INEC they can't solve that problem for us. The political parties must be the one to take the blame.
But if the political parties don't do that, then what then happens? Are we going to keep going on with a cycle like this? So isn't there supposed to be an independent body somehow, or at least a part of INEC, even if it's not the electoral department itself? I don't know.
Yes,
but
shouldn't
INEC,
there
be someone who should be doing this?
There should be. INEC in the past, when Obasanjo was in office, INEC barred article from contesting, and it was challenged, and the court said that no, INEC can't buy a candidate anymore. That if anybody wants to disqualify a candidate from contesting, it has to be the court. So I think maybe in the past, INEC was trying to, because if we give INEC those powers, the problem is that people are scared that the powers may be abused. That was why they took it away. So it's the philosophical argument. That's one side of the story, that should INEC go back to having those powers so that you can disqualify anybody whom they feel is not qualified. But the problem is that if INEC stops you from contesting and you challenge it in court, you have the same situation again where somebody has won an election and the court says that no,